go over LJ weekly housing market update, and let's get started with this. So for week 2, December 2022, this is how we're going to end the year, right? So first, let's talk about the interest rates. So if you're purchasing a house in Queens for around 625 and you're going to put down 20% down, which is 80% LTV, and we're going with the FICO score for about 620, and you're going for FHA loan, and it's going to be owner occupied, single family. Let's see what kind of interest rates are available. So based on that, your loan officer may give you a rate sheet that goes as low as 5.5 interest rate, and high end it might be around 7.125. And on the future slides, we will go over national averages, but this is what we're giving you example for Queens, New York client. Okay, so the range between 5.5, 7.1, you might get options for lender's credit, or you can buy down the rate and your monthly payment will change. So at 7.125, your monthly payment, just your principal and interest, it's around 3,400. And if it's 5.5, your monthly payment, just principal and interest, is 2,800. Okay. Next, let's talk about the national averages. And according to Freddie Mac, your primary mortgages for 30-year fixed for a 52 week range is between 3.05, which we saw, and on the high end we saw 7.08. And for 15-year fixed rate mortgages, you're looking at 5.67 average, and for 52-week range, you're looking at 2.3 to 6.38. All right. And we just showed you an example that they were between 5.5 until 7 to 7. So the average for the national 6.33 does make sense. And this is with Freddie Mac. Now let's check the averages using Mortgage News Daily. They're a little bit more accurate because they're doing on daily basis, and the interest rates averages again 6.33 for 30 years, and for conventional, and but for FHA it's even a little bit lower, which is 5.80. Okay, now let's talk about our LIBOR stats. These are what's happening in Queens. So supply and demand, it's right where it was for past couple of weeks now, that the supply is increasing a little bit, less than a percentage, and the demand is decreasing less than a percentage. And the demand is decreasing when it's higher interest rates, then less people qualify, so the demand will decrease. And the supply and the inventory, we're seeing that is increasing a little bit, but not much. An average selling price in Queens is around $1 million, and the listing price average is around $1,089,000. Okay. Next, let's look at, this is for our realtors. We want you to use the software that we provide to you guys, GeoData. So when you have any listings and you see a price like this, 3.99, and you want to see how much is, the banks will value it at, you want to use GeoData. And it's pretty good system that gives you the averages without doing anything, all your comps or anything like that. Just gives you a model, and this is a good starting point. Always look at this first and then make your offers. Okay, if it is a fully renovated house, then you can go on the higher end, but if it needs a lot of work, then you want to go on the lower end. Okay, so always use your GeoData application that we provide to you. And now let's talk about the community report, and this is for Nassau County, and these numbers are in thousands. So total population is around 1.3 million people living in Nassau County, and the ratio between male and female is 50%. And for realtors, we're interested in the first-time home buyers, and that is the ages between 27 and 35. And we know that elderly people definitely want to, they move out from Queens to Long Island to have a quieter um, lifestyle, life living, and that's why we see that there's most of them are between 55 and 64, right? And birth rates are just like Queens that we checked last time, they're trending downwards. And the labor force is around 62%, which contains 84% of that for male and 75 for female. Okay. And for education, you can see that majority of them are in colleges, right? And your student to teacher ratio is 13 to 1. So there's 13 students, uh, there's one teacher for every 13 students there, which is not bad at all. Okay. And for realtors, we're interested in when were the properties built. So there's a good stats that most of the property that we see, they might be fully renovated, right, in these years, but the actual built, it's in 50s or 60s. So we can see that there were a lot of houses built in 50s and 60s, but they start decreasing after 70s. And again, this is for our realtors. We want to use LoopNet for commercial listings. Any listing, anytime you have an investor or looking for any person, a client that's looking for commercial, the first step should be LoopNet. It is a free website for the realtors if you just want to view. But when the time comes to list the property, then you have to get a paid subscription through LoopNet. But to start off, get used to just going to LoopNet, searching your county or area, and seeing what's available for that client. Okay. Now let's talk about the news, the headlines. And we saw this week that the Fed did raise another increase of zero point 0.5 percentage points, right? The good news is that they started increasing on a lower increment. Before it was at 0.75 basis point, and now they decreased it to zero point 0.5. So hopefully they'll stop at a certain point, and the mortgages rate should go down after that. But right now they're still trying to control the inflation, and this is the only way of doing that. Okay, and there's another news from Housing Wire. Same exact thing that the Fed increased to 50 basis points, and this is like we are just mentioning that it might be a good news for the housing industry because this may lead to mortgages rates decreasing in the long run. We might not see the effect right away, but in the long run they might be. Okay, and because of the interest rates are going down a little bit compared to a month back, so the loan applications are increasing. That's also in the headlines. Okay. And another article from Inman was home buyers take notice as mortgage rates continue to fall. So again, we're seeing that little increase in demand because of this. So this is a good chart if you want to compare. Let's say you don't want to put 20% down payment. You want to do 10% or 15% and compare that to the 20%. So this chart here will show us how much is the difference. So the loan amount, obviously, if you're putting 10% down, your loan amount is going to be bigger. And if you were to put 20%, it's going to be lower. So in this situation, if you're purchasing a house for $625,000 in Queens, and you're putting 10% down, your loan amount will be 562. 15% will be 531. 20% it will be 500,000 even. Okay, all of them are 30 years fixed. Down payment now with 10% you're looking at 62,000. For 15 you're looking at 93,000, and for 20% you're looking at 125,000. And the rate we're assuming is going to be 5.99. Now we put that as a fixed for all of them. And this is the major question that we get for mortgage insurance. So if you're putting 20 less than 20% down, you're going to be paying mortgage insurance. But how much? That is the question that we get almost every day. So if it's 20% down, obviously there's no mortgage insurance. If it's 15% down, you're looking at around $90. Again, this will matter on your credit score. The lower the credit score, the higher this payment will be. Or if the higher the credit score, the lower this payment will be, right? So for 15% down payment, you're looking at around $90 per month extra until you hit that 20% equity. And if it's 10% down payment, you're looking at around $178 for mortgage insurance. Okay. And on the next slide, we'll go through the monthly payments. So if you're putting 10% down, you're looking at around $4,100 for your monthly payment. For 15%, you're looking around 3,800, and for 20% down, you're looking at around 3,500. So obviously, the more you put down, the lower your monthly payment will be, but that's also depends on your savings. If you don't have 20% down, then you probably want to go with the 10% and have this higher payment, right? And the difference exactly will be that if you're putting 15% down, you're paying $276 extra. And if it's 10% down, you're putting $552 extra every month compared to this 20%. All right. So you will always want to compare different programs, different down payment amounts with your loan officer and get a clear picture that how much money are you willing to spend every month. Because again, this is a 30-year fixed rate. So you want to choose wisely. You want to make sure that you're taking the right step. So always compare these. Okay. Next question is that a lot of people ask us is the conventional, right? Most of them think that they need 20% down for conventional, but there are different programs that allows you to put less than that. There's a program called Home Ready, and this is a loan by Fannie Mae, and they allow up to 97 LTV, meaning you can put down as low as 3% down payment for your conventional mortgage. Most people think, no, I want to go with FHA, and that's 3.5%. But if you qualify for Home Ready program, you can put 3% down. Why not, right? And your minimum FICO is needed is 620. And obviously, you need to put down more if you're buying more units. So if it's just a single family, you can put down as little as 3%. But if it's two units, you have to put down up to 15%. Or if it's 3 or 4 units, you have to put down 25%. Okay. And you can go over with your loan officer and see if you're eligible or not. They will check your income and see your area medium income AMI, and it has to be 80% or less. And all these criteria, and speak with your loan officer, see if you qualify for this program. And for our realtors out there, you get an email from Libro all the time for upcoming classes. We highly recommend that you actually take a look at them and see if you want to actually register and learn something. So it's different topics, go through them and see if you want to learn anything from that. Okay, some of them are free, some of them are not. Also for our realtors, if you drive and you have a car and you want to get a custom plate, you can do that at the DMV. You can do it by calling this number here, or you can visit a DMV office, or you can call our insurance agency, LGA Insurance Agency, and we can help you get this as well. Okay, so I hope this video helps and you guys enjoy your holidays. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one.